When you're ready. Then it's just back half a turn. Yeah, that's fine. And then if you just go to the screw wheel, once that's slackened off correctly, the pressure should then be able to move up and down. So as you unscrew the wheel, that top pattern, yeah, it just moves up. That's fine, so that's all assembled. Okay, so we want to set the spring constant. So the first thing you want to do is put the spacer inside the press and then screw the wheel down to allow the piston to come up through the column, and you'll see on the readout that some pressure is applied in just doing that. The reason for that is the compression of the spring is taking up some of the force. So once the piston, as we can see now, has come through, that should be fine. We can then take a trim tool and then just change the offset back to 0 to take account of that spring constant. So then when we're applying force to the sample, we get a correct reading. So you can just dial that back down to 0. Okay, then, so to press out a sample into a die, you first take the filler funnel and place that just over the loading column, and then carefully introduce your sample. What you can do is just pre-weigh roughly the amount that you want to get into the die. So you'll just tap that through the funnel. Then we've got a temping rod which will actually fit through the centre of the funnel, just to push any loose material down into the central cavity. So once you've introduced your powder, you can remove the funnel and then take a die, and you just want to get that roughly in the centre. So we just have a look here. So that's just placed roughly on the centre, and then the forming plate is then placed over the top of that, and that will fit. It should just spin round gently. Then you just take your spacer and try and get that as central as possible, and you can then use the screw wheel to apply the desired pressure. So with this one we'll try to go for about 30 bar. So we have that offset for the spring constant, so that's now gone to 0 just as the spring's been tightened up, and now we're closing down to our desired pressure. So we're reading about 31 bar there. So we'll wait about 30 seconds, leave everything in place. Then once we've waited our desired time, we can release the pressure and take a look at the die that we've formed. So we'll just go back on the screw wheel, remove the spacer, remove the forming plate. Sometimes the die does just stick in the top of the forming plate. It didn't on that occasion, so then we'll just have a look. You could just show that. We'll just have a look. You should be able to then see the white powder nicely formed in the die. So once we've pressed our die, we want to load it into the Teflon stirrer. The first thing you want to do is make sure those two grub screws are recessed, which they are, and then you can place the stirrer on the bench and take your die and just mount it just on top, and then just press down and then that's just loaded in and just popped in. We find just perhaps wetting the O-ring just before you do that helps as well. So that's all loaded and can go into the Microdiss. So now what we'll show you is how to clean the Mini-IDR, and what we can do is raise the pattern so the piston is lifted clear and we can clean the instrument. So first of all, we're just going to use the screw wheel to lower the top plate, just as you would do if you were pressing a sample. So we can see that's moving down. We need to move it down far enough so we get enough clearance once the pin's lifted off. So that should be just about fine. Then there's the two little screws on the right hand side. We can just have a look at those, and we're going to screw those down until they hit the top of the plate, so we can do that. So there's one either side. That screws all the way down. We'll just have a look at that there. So you see that's screwed, and we'll do the same on the other side. So once we've got those locked down in place, we just need to slacken off the grub screw on the left, which you can do. So we've slackened that off, and now what we can do is with the screw wheel move the pattern up. Okay, and as we do that, zoom in, we should see the top piston start to come clear. That's alright. So then we can see that the piston's there lifted clear to allow cleaning, and we could also put a pipe cleaner in the top part and just push that through the chamber just to clean out any potential residue. So after cleaning, we want to reassemble the press. So the first thing we do is the little screws that we can see at the top, they want to return to their uppermost position. Both the one on the left and the one on the right. Returns to the top position as well, and we'll take a spacer once we've done that. Okay, so we'll take a spacer and just put that into the middle section. You might just have to move with the screw wheel, just rotate that back a little bit just to get a bit more height, to allow you to get the spacer in.
There's nothing wrong with the box. The box are played, the plasma steel is good enough.
Okay, and if we push the spacer a little bit more towards the centre, we should be able to see the pin. Okay, that's fine, and then close that down.
I don't think it's the box itself the issue.
We should start to see the pin just come flush.
So we'll do a nice manual now.
Yeah, we have the manual, and then we're just going to do a little video.
Okay, a video?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
And we can put little
so
captions.
The customer sent him a video?
Yeah, just a CD-ROM.
Yeah.
So that piston just comes up level, and at that point we can lock down the thumb screw on the left, and that just keeps the tension in the spring. So now we've got the press reassembled, ready to press out another die.